A heartbroken black gamer and her uptight Korean neighbor are locked in a real-life Cold War, until they discover they're the anonymous gaming partners who've been falling in love online for months. Let's dive into it. 3 months ago, Jasmine stood in the doorway of her bedroom, staring at her boyfriend Marcus in their bed with another woman. "Jazz, wait!" Marcus scrambled up. 3 years, Jasmine said, her voice deadly calm. 3 years and you couldn't even cheat at her place? She turned, grabbed her gaming setup, PC, monitor, keyboard, headset, and walked out. Her best friend Taylor found her crying in a parking lot 2 hours later, her entire gaming rig in the back seat of her car. "I'm done," Jasmine said. "Done with men. Done with caring. Done with everything." "What are you not done with?" Taylor asked gently. Jasmine looked at her gaming equipment. Gaming doesn't lie. Gaming doesn't cheat. "That's actually kind of sad but also very you," Taylor said. "What do you need?" "A new apartment. And a raid team that doesn't suck." Jasmine moved into the downtown loft building on a Friday. By Saturday night, she had her gaming setup assembled, dual monitors, RGB lighting everywhere, her captain's chair positioned perfectly, her collection of energy drinks stocked. She put on her favorite playlist, loud, bass-heavy, unapologetic, and started unpacking while queuing for an online match. At 11 p.m., someone knocked on her door. She opened it to find a guy in pressed pajamas. Pressed pajamas. Who irons pajamas? "Hi," he said, polite but stiff. "I'm Daniel Choi. I live next door. 2B. Jasmine. What's up? Your music. It's quite loud. It's Saturday night. It's 11 p.m. Which is Saturday night?" Jasmine repeated, confused. "Building quiet hours start at 10 p.m. It's in the lease." Jasmine blinked. "You're serious? I have work in the morning. It's Sunday tomorrow. I work Sundays. That's sad for you, but I don't work Sundays, so..." She started to close the door. "Could you please just turn it down?" Something in his tone, that judgmental, superior, "I'm better than you" tone, made Jasmine's jaw tight. "Could you please just relax?" She countered. "I'm being perfectly reasonable. You're being uptight. It's music. Get earplugs. Or you could respect your neighbors. Or you could respect that people live differently than you." They stared at each other, the immovable object and the unstoppable force. "I'll file a complaint," Daniel said finally. "You do that," Jasmine said and closed the door. She turned her music up. That same night, 1 a.m., Jasmine couldn't sleep. Too angry. Too wired. Too aware that her first interaction with her neighbor was a fight and she was now that neighbor. Whatever. He started it. She logged into her favorite game, Valor Legends, a team-based fantasy combat game. Her username, Queen Jazz. She queued for a raid, got matched with randos. 3 players were useless, but the 4th, Midnight Soul, was incredible. They moved in sync, covering each other, communicating through quick voice callouts. They carried the team to victory. After the match, Midnight Soul sent a party invite. His voice came through her headset. "That was clean. You play a lot." "Every night," Jasmine said. "You?" "Same. Helps me unwind." "From what?" "Work. Life. Uptight neighbors." Jasmine laughed. "I just had a fight with mine." "Me too, actually. New neighbor. Already filed a noise complaint on her first day." Jasmine's laugh died. No way. Coincidence." "Her?" she asked carefully. "Yeah. Moved in today. Playing music at full volume at 11 p.m. "Oh my God. Maybe she had a reason?" Jasmine said, her voice tight. "Maybe. But there are rules for a reason. Maybe rules are just ways uptight people control everyone else. Or maybe rules create order so society doesn't collapse into chaos." "Who hurt you?" Jasmine asked. Midnight Soul laughed. An actual laugh. "Fair. Want to run another raid?" "Yeah," Jasmine said, because in the game he wasn't her judgmental neighbor. He was just a good player, and she needed the distraction. They played until 4 a.m. Over the next 2 weeks, Queen Jazz and Midnight Soul became a legendary duo. They climbed the leaderboards. Other players recognized their gamer tags and asked to team up. During late-night gaming sessions, they talked. Night 3. Why Valor Legends? Midnight Soul asked between matches. Escape, Jasmine said honestly. The darkness and anonymity of voice chat made it easier. Out there, I have to be a certain way. In here, I can just be good at something without explaining myself. I get that. Out there, I have to be perfect. In here, I can mess up and just respawn. Do you ever mess up out there? Jasmine asked. Never. That's the problem. Confession time, Jasmine said after they wiped on a boss. I'm playing in my pajamas and eating cereal straight from the box. That's chaos, Midnight Soul said. But his tone was amused, not judgmental. What are you doing? Sitting at my desk in my apartment, drinking tea. Tea? At 2 a.m. Green tea, caffeine-free. You're a serial killer. He laughed. I like order. It calms me. I like chaos. It makes me feel alive. We're opposites. Best teams are, Jasmine said. After a particularly hard-won victory, they stayed in party chat, not playing, just talking. Can I tell you something? Jasmine asked. Always. I got cheated on. 3 months ago. Caught him in our bed with someone else. Silence. Then, I'm really sorry. I thought I was over it. But tonight I saw a couple kissing in my building lobby and I wanted to scream. You're allowed to not be over it. Everyone keeps saying I should date again. Best way to get over someone is to get under someone else. Jasmine mimicked her friend's advice. That sounds terrible, right? Like, maybe I just need to figure out who I am without defining myself by who wants me. That's really wise. Are you surprised? No. You're one of the smartest people I know. Jasmine's breath caught. You don't even know what I look like. I know what matters. You're loyal, you never leave a teammate behind. You're brave, you take risks no one else will. You're funny. You make me laugh when I haven't laughed in months. That's more real than what you look like. Jasmine felt tears in her eyes. Midnight. Yeah. Thank you for seeing me. While Queen Jazz and Midnight Soul fell for each other online, Jasmine and Daniel made each other's lives hell. Week 1. Jasmine's music was too loud. Daniel complained. Daniel's meal prep at 6 a.m. was too loud. Jasmine complained. Jasmine took his assigned parking spot because it's closer. Daniel left a passive-aggressive note. Jasmine left a note back. Maybe get here earlier, kiss mark. Week 2. They had a hallway argument about recycling bin placement. It's not that hard to follow the chart, Daniel said, holding the building's recycling guide. It's not that deep, Jasmine countered. It's trash. Recycling is not trash. That's literally the point. Oh my God. You're exhausting. You're impossible. Week 3. Jasmine's package was delivered to Daniel's door by mistake. He brought it over at 10 p.m., waking her up. She answered the door in her robe, annoyed. Really? Your package? Could have waited until morning. Could have been something important. It's a gaming mousepad, Daniel. It could wait. He looked at the package. You game. Why does that surprise you? It doesn't. You just don't seem like. Like what? He didn't answer, just handed her the package and left. Meanwhile, online, my neighbor is the worst human. Jasmine vented to Midnight Soul during a dungeon run. What did he do now? He judged me for getting a package. Like silently judged. I could feel it. How do you silently judge? I don't know. He has this face. This I'm so much better than you face. Midnight Soul was quiet. Then, maybe he's just awkward. Some people don't know how to interact without coming across wrong. Are you defending him? I'm just saying, people are complicated. Maybe he's dealing with something. Since when are you wise? Since I met you. You make me think. That's actually really sweet. Don't tell anyone. I have a reputation as a cold, logical player to maintain. Your secret's safe with me. They were running a particularly brutal raid. 3 hours in, down to the final boss, everyone exhausted. I don't think we can do this, another teammate said. We can, Jasmine said. One more try. Midnight, you with me? Always, Daniel said. They adjusted strategy. Jasmine called the plays. Daniel executed perfectly. The team followed. When the boss finally fell, the whole party erupted in celebration. That's what I'm talking about, Jasmine screamed. We did it, Daniel yelled. Actually yelled, enthusiasm breaking through his usual calm. After everyone else logged off, they stayed in party chat. We make a good team, Jasmine said. The best team. Midnight. Can I ask you something personal? Yeah. Why do you hide behind the game? Silence. Then, what do you mean? You're different here. More open. More you, I think. But you talk about your real life like it's a job you have to perform. Because it is, Daniel admitted. Out there, I have to be responsible, professional, perfect. I can't mess up. I can't be weak. If I'm not in control, everything falls apart. That sounds exhausting. It is. Who decided you had to be perfect? My parents. My culture. My job. Myself, I guess. What if you just didn't? That's not how life works. Maybe it should be. You think I should just stop caring about rules and responsibility and be chaos like my neighbor? Jasmine flinched. I didn't say chaos. Sorry, I just meant. My neighbor is like that. Loud, spontaneous, doesn't care about how she affects other people. Or maybe, Jasmine said carefully, she's just living authentically, and that scares you because you don't let yourself do that. Daniel was quiet for a long time. Maybe. Midnight. Yeah. I think I'm starting to fall for you. Silence. Her heart hammered. Then, I've already fallen. The next morning, Jasmine ran into Daniel in the hallway. Both carrying coffee. Both tired from staying up late. One gaming with each other. Both oblivious. You look terrible, Daniel said. Good morning to you too, sunshine. Were you up all night gaming? How did you? She stopped. Are you stalking me? I can hear you through the wall. Your reactions to the game are loud. Sorry my joy disturbs your perfectly ordered life. I didn't mean. But Jasmine was already walking away. Daniel stood there, coffee in hand, feeling like he'd failed a test he didn't know he was taking. That night online. I almost told you today, Daniel said. Told me what? Who I am. Where I live. Why didn't you? Because I like this. Without the real world complicating it. The real world always complicates things, Jasmine said. So let's stay here, in the game, where it's just us. Okay, Jasmine agreed, but she felt the lie in both their voices. Jasmine was complaining to Midnight Soul about her day. And then Daniel, that's my neighbor. He left another passive-aggressive note about my Amazon boxes blocking the shared space. It's a hallway. It's made for space. To be fair, Midnight Soul said, if there are a lot of boxes, whose side are you on? Yours. Always. I just mean, maybe he's stressed about something else and taking it out on small things. How do you know that? I do that sometimes. You leave passive-aggressive notes? No. I internalize stress and then overreact to small things that don't matter. That's oddly specific self-awareness. Therapy is a beautiful thing. Jasmine laughed, then stopped. Wait, my neighbor works in tech. You work in tech. You both drink green tea. You both like order. Lots of people work in tech. And you're both Korean. There are many Korean people. And you're both in the same city. It's a big city? Midnight. Where do you live? Why? Just answer. Downtown. The loft building off 5th. Jasmine's blood ran cold. What apartment number? I shouldn't tell you that. Midnight. Why does it matter? Because I live at 5th and Main. The loft building. Silence. What apartment? Daniel asked quietly. 2A. Longer silence. Midnight. Jasmine whispered. I have to go. He disconnected. Jasmine sat in her gaming chair, staring at the empty party chat. No. She grabbed her phone and Googled her building's resident directory. Apartment 2B, Daniel Choi. "Oh my God," she whispered. Daniel sat at his desk, hands shaking. Queen Jazz was Jasmine. The woman he'd been falling for was the neighbor he complained about daily. The person who made him laugh, who challenged him, who saw him, was the person he'd filed noise complaints against. He looked at the wall they shared. Through it, he could hear her music playing softly. The same music he'd complained about. But now he knew what it meant. She played music to drown out thoughts about her ex, to feel less alone, and he'd made her feel worse. "What have I done?" he whispered. For the next week, they both knew, but neither said anything. Online, they still played together, but the easy conversation was gone, replaced by awkward pauses and careful words. "You okay?" Jasmine asked after a quiet match. "Fine. You?" "Yeah." Neither was fine. They avoided each other in the hallway. When they did encounter each other, the hostility was gone, replaced by confused tension. "Your music was fine last night," Daniel said, polite. "Thanks," Jasmine said, thrown. "I mean, it wasn't too loud. It was fine." "Okay." They stood there awkwardly. "I'll let you go," Daniel said. "Yeah." But neither moved for a long moment. "We need to talk," Daniel said online. "I know. You know what I'm going to say?" "I think so." "Then you say it first." "No, you." "Jasmine." She disconnected. The next morning, Jasmine opened her door to find Daniel standing there, hand raised to knock. "We need to talk," he said. "Not now." "When?" "I don't know. You can't avoid this forever. Watch me." She tried to close the door. He stopped it with his hand. "I'm Midnight Soul." "I know. And you're Queen Jazz." "I know. So why are we pretending we're not?" "Because online you actually like me." "Online, I'm not your chaotic disaster neighbor." "Online, we work. Maybe we work here too." "We don't. We've done nothing but fight since I moved in." "Because I didn't know you. Because I was judgmental, tight, self-righteous." Daniel flinched. "All of those things. I was all of those things. But online you made me better. Online you're someone else." "No," Daniel said firmly. "Online I'm who I want to be. And that's because of you." Jasmine felt tears in her eyes. "I don't know how to do this." "Do what?" "Reconcile the person who makes me laugh at 3 a.m. with the person who files noise complaints. I don't know how to reconcile the woman who challenges me to be brave with the neighbor whose music drives me crazy." They stared at each other. "I think," Daniel said quietly, "we're both scared." "Of what?" "That the real versions of us can't live up to the online versions." "Or that we can," Jasmine whispered. "And that's even scarier." 2 weeks later, the city's annual Valor Legends tournament was happening. Queen Jazz and Midnight Soul had qualified months ago, before they knew each other. Now they stood in the convention center on opposite sides of the room, both registered, both pretending they didn't see the other. Taylor found Jasmine. "You have to talk to him." "We did talk." "You fought and then avoided each other for 2 weeks. What do you want me to say?" "Hey, sorry I'm the neighbor you hate. Please still love me?" Maybe start with, "Hey, sorry for my part in our miscommunication. I didn't miscommunicate anything. I was exactly who I am. And so was he." "Jazz, you fell for him. The real him. The guy who needs structure to feel safe. Just like he fell for the real you. The girl who needs chaos to feel alive. We're too different. Or you're perfect together and you're just scared." His coworker and friend Minjun found him. "You're going to lose if you keep playing distracted." "I'm not distracted. You've looked at her 12 times in the last 5 minutes." "I haven't." 13 now. Daniel sighed. "What do I do?" "Talk to her." "I tried. She ran." "Then don't let her run. Be brave. Be the guy from 3 a.m., not the guy from the lease agreement." Through a twist of tournament bracketing, Queen Jazz and Midnight Soul's teams faced each other in the finals. They sat at opposite ends of the stage, headsets on, screens up. The crowd was massive. The prize was $50,000. But all Jasmine could think about was his voice in her ear every night for months. All Daniel could think about was her laugh. The match started. They played like they were possessed. Every strategy, every move, perfectly executed on both sides. The crowd went wild. It came down to the final moment, one-on-one, Jasmine's character versus Daniel's. In her headset, his voice, Jazz. She froze. He wasn't supposed to be in her channel. How are you? Override channel. Listen, I don't care about winning. Care about you. And I think you care about me. The real me. The one who's messy and complicated and needs green tea at 2 a.m. Daniel. I liked your music, he said. Once I knew it was you, I liked it. Because it was you. Loud and chaotic and exactly what I needed. Jasmine's hands shook on her keyboard. On screen, their characters stood still. The crowd was confused. I'm throwing the match, Daniel said. Don't you dare. Then meet me. After this. Win or lose, meet me. Where? Where we first met. We met in the hallway. No. We met in the game. Jasmine understood. Okay, she whispered. They both started playing again for real, full strength, no holding back. The match was legendary. The crowd lost their minds. In the end, Jasmine won by a single hit point. After the tournament, after the prize ceremony, after the crowd dispersed, Jasmine found Daniel in the convention center's gaming lounge. He sat at a console, controller in hand, waiting. She sat down next to him, picked up the second controller. Player 2? She asked. Always, he said. They played in silence for a few minutes, just like they had 100 times before. Then Jasmine paused the game. I'm sorry, she said. For what? For judging you. For deciding you were just an uptight neighbor without trying to see you. Online, I saw you. But in person, I saw a stereotype. I did the same thing, Daniel admitted. I saw chaos. I saw someone who didn't follow rules. I didn't see someone who was hurting and trying to heal. I play music loud because silence is too lonely, Jasmine said quietly. I need silence because noise is overwhelming. But maybe, Daniel took her hand. Maybe we can find a middle ground. What does that look like? You play your music. I get noise-canceling headphones. I tell you when I really need quiet for a work deadline. You tell me when you really need to be loud to process. We communicate instead of complain. That sounds healthy. Terrifying, right? Jasmine laughed. So terrifying. I liked who I was with you online, Daniel said. I want to be that person in real life. I liked who I was with you too. You made me think before I reacted. You made me better. We made each other better. They sat close, controllers forgotten. Can I ask you something? Daniel said. Always. That first night when we played together, did you feel it? The connection? Instantly. It was like meeting someone I'd known forever. Me too. And that's why I'm not scared anymore. Because we already know the worst parts of each other. You know I'm rigid and judgmental. I know you're chaotic and loud. And we still fell for each other. That's a low bar, Jasmine teased. It's an honest bar. She kissed him. There in the gaming lounge, surrounded by consoles and LED lights, she kissed him. When they broke apart, Daniel smiled. So we're doing this? I guess we are. Fair warning. I'm still going to need quiet sometimes. Fair warning. I'm still going to play music loud sometimes. I can live with that. Me too. Jasmine and Daniel stood in their new apartment. Bigger, with space for both of them, with a guest room converted into a gaming room. 2 gaming setups side by side. You ready? Daniel asked, headset on. Born ready? Jasmine said, settling into her chair. They logged on. Queen Jazz and Midnight Soul. Still the best team in the game. But now, between matches, Daniel could reach over and hold her hand. Now, when Jasmine needed to vent, she didn't have to do it through a headset in the dark. She could turn her chair and see him. Now, when they won, they celebrated together, in person, loud and chaotic. And when they lost, they tried again. Together. I love you, Daniel said during a loading screen. I know, Jasmine said. You tell me every night at 2 a.m. I mean in real life. I know. I love you too. Both versions. Online and off. They're not different versions anymore. No, Jasmine agreed. They're just you. And I like you. Just like. She leaned over and kissed him. I more than like you. That's good, Daniel said. Because you're stuck with me. I signed a lease. Our lease. Our life. The match loaded. They played. They won. And after, instead of logging off to their separate apartments, they closed their laptops and fell asleep together in their shared home. Player 1 and Player 2. In the game and in life. Finally playing on the same team. 6 months after the tournament. Jasmine and Daniel sat in their shared gaming room, both mid-match, when Daniel's phone buzzed. He glanced at it during a loading screen and his face went pale. What's wrong? Jasmine asked, noticing immediately. My parents, Daniel said slowly. They're coming to visit. Next weekend. That's great. I'd love to meet them. You don't understand. I haven't told them about you. Jasmine's controller went still. What? I mean, they know I'm seeing someone, but... Daniel pulled off his headset. They don't know you're black, or a gamer, or my neighbor who I initially complained about. Wow. 3 strikes, Jasmine said, her voice tight. It's not like that. Then what is it like, Daniel? Because it sounds like you're ashamed of me. I'm not. I'm ashamed of myself. Of how I acted when we met. Of the noise complaints and the judgment. If I tell them the real story, they'll think I'm... He struggled for words. What? Not their perfect son. Daniel flinched. Yes. Jasmine stood up. You know what? I've spent my whole life being too loud, too much, too black, too everything for people. I'm not going to shrink myself so your parents can digest me easier. I'm not asking you to. Then what are you asking? Daniel was quiet. Then, can we just ease them into it? Ease them into me? Like I'm a difficult meal. Jasmine, I need to think. She grabbed her phone and left the gaming room. Daniel sat alone, his character dying on screen, undefended. 3 days before the visit, Jasmine's best friend Taylor came over to help strategize. Okay, so you're meeting the Korean parents, Taylor said, sprawled on Jasmine's RGB-lit gaming chair. What's the plan? Daniel wants to ease them into me, Jasmine said bitterly. Yikes. What does that mean? I don't know. Probably hide my gaming setup. Pretend I'm a quiet librarian. Don't mention that we met, because he filed noise complaints on me. That's like your entire origin story. I know. Taylor spun in the chair. Look, I get why you're mad, but also meeting the parents is terrifying. Maybe he's just freaking out. He's embarrassed of me. Or he's embarrassed of himself. You said he was a completely different person when you met. Tight, judgmental. Maybe he doesn't want them to see that version of him. Jasmine hadn't considered that. What if, Taylor suggested, you give him a chance to do this right, but on your terms. Meet the parents as exactly who you are. If he can't handle that, you know where you stand. And if his parents hate me, then they're wrong. And Daniel has to choose. 2 days before the visit, Daniel knocked on Jasmine's apartment door. She'd been avoiding him, sleeping in her old apartment instead of their shared bed. Can we talk? He asked when she opened it. I'm listening. You're right. I'm being a coward. My whole life I've been perfect Daniel. The son who does everything right. The one who follows rules. And I'm terrified that if my parents meet the real me, the guy who fell in love with his chaotic neighbor, who games until 4 a.m., who filed noise complaints because he was too scared to just knock on your door and talk, they'll be disappointed. Your parents or you? Both. Jasmine sighed. Daniel, I love you, but I need you to love me loud. Not quiet. Not eased into. If you want me to meet your parents, I'm coming as myself. Gaming setup, music, noise complaints, all of it. What if they don't understand? Then you help them understand. That's what love does. Daniel nodded slowly. Okay, no more hiding. I'll tell them everything. Everything. Well, maybe not the part where I called you chaotic in our first conversation. You what? I said maybe not. Despite herself, Jasmine laughed. Friday evening. Daniel's parents arrived at 6 p.m. sharp. His father, Mr. Choi, was exactly what Jasmine expected. Pressed slacks, button-up shirt, glasses, stern expression. His mother, Mrs. Choi, was elegant in a traditional hanbok-inspired dress. Her hair perfect, her smile warm but evaluating. Daniel had insisted they meet at a nice restaurant, neutral territory. Jasmine wore a stunning outfit. A fitted emerald green dress that showed her curves beautifully. Her natural hair styled in defined curls with gold accessories woven through, bold makeup, gold jewelry. She looked like a queen. She was terrified. Yama, appa, Daniel said in Korean, then switched to English. This is Jasmine Reed, my girlfriend. It's so nice to meet you, Jasmine said, extending her hand. Mrs. Choi took it, her smile not quite reaching her eyes. Daniel has told us so much about you, Jasmine thought, but she smiled. All good things, I hope. He said you work in social media, Mr. Choi said, his English accented but clear. I'm a social media manager for a gaming company, Jasmine clarified. Gaming, Mrs. Choi repeated. Like children's games? Like esports, competitive gaming. Actually, Daniel and I met through gaming. She felt Daniel tense beside her. Daniel plays games? Mr. Choi looked at his son like he'd announced he was joining the circus. Yes, Daniel admitted. When? His father demanded. You work very hard. When do you have time for games? Late nights, mostly, Jasmine said, jumping in. We're actually nationally ranked players. We competed in a tournament together. The table went silent. You compete, Mrs. Choi said slowly. In games. Yes. We won prize money and everything. How much? Mr. Choi asked. I won $50,000. Daniel came in second and won $25,000. The silence stretched. Then Mrs. Choi asked, You beat my son? In the game, yes. But we're on the same team now. In life, and in games. We're partners. Another silence. This was going terribly. The meal was excruciatingly polite. Mr. Choi asked about Jasmine's education. She had a business degree? Thank God. Mrs. Choi asked about her family. Single mom? Working class? Very different from the Choi's two-parent professional household. Then Mrs. Choi asked, How did you really meet? Jasmine looked at Daniel. His turn. We're neighbors, Daniel said. Same building. How convenient, Mr. Choi said, his tone suggesting it was anything but. Actually, we hated each other at first, Jasmine said, unable to stop herself. Daniel's eyes widened in horror. Hated, Mrs. Choi repeated. Strong word. Disliked intensely. Daniel filed a noise complaint on my first day in the building. You were very loud, Daniel muttered. And you were very uptight, Jasmine countered. Children, Mr. Choi said sternly. They both stopped. We didn't know we were neighbors when we met online, Jasmine continued. We were gaming partners for months. Fell in love through headsets. Never saw each other's faces. Then we discovered we lived next door. It was complicated. This is not appropriate, Mr. Choi said. Daniel, you filed complaints on your girlfriend? I didn't know she was. We weren't. It was before. Daniel stumbled. And you? Mrs. Choi turned to Jasmine. You make noise complaints necessary? I play music. I live my life. I'm not going to apologize for existing loudly. Loudly? Mr. Choi repeated, as if it were a disease. Jasmine felt her temper rising. Yes, loudly, because I spent too many years being quiet, making myself smaller for people who would never appreciate me anyway. Daniel fell in love with me when I was being exactly who I am. If that's too loud for you, that's a you problem. Jasmine, Daniel tried. No, let me finish. I love your son. He's brilliant and kind and he makes me laugh. But I'm not going to pretend to be someone else to make this dinner easier. I'm a black woman who plays video games professionally, who works in gaming, who plays music at midnight because it helps me process my emotions. I'm chaotic and creative and loud. And Daniel loves that about me. Don't you? She looked at him. This was his moment. Choose. Daniel looked at his parents. Then at her. Yes, he said quietly. Then louder. Yes, I love everything about you, including the parts my parents find difficult. Daniel, his father said warningly. No, Appa. Let me speak. My whole life I've been who you wanted. Perfect grades, perfect job, perfect apartment, perfect everything. But I was miserable. Then I met Jasmine and she taught me that perfect is boring. That rules are sometimes meant to be broken. That being loud and messy and real is better than being quiet and acceptable and dying inside. Mrs. Choi's eyes were wide. She beats me at video games, Daniel continued. And at first I hated it, because I'm supposed to be the best. But then I realized, it's better to lose with her than win with anyone else. She's my player too, and I'm hers. And if you can't accept that, then, he took Jasmine's hand. Then I choose her anyway. Jasmine's eyes filled with tears. Mr. and Mrs. Choi sat in shocked silence. Then Mrs. Choi started laughing. Everyone stared. You sound like your brother, she said to Daniel. My what? Your brother. When he chose music over law school. The same dramatic speech. I don't have a brother, Daniel said, confused. You did. Before you were born. He chose his own path. We didn't speak for 10 years. Mrs. Choi's voice softened. We missed 10 years because we couldn't accept that he was different from what we wanted. Mr. Choi cleared his throat. We don't want to make that mistake again. The table went quiet again, but this time it was different. You play games professionally? Mrs. Choi asked Jasmine. Yes. And you make money? Enough to live on, yes. And Daniel, you also do this? Not professionally, but Jasmine has been teaching me. I'm getting better. You let her teach you? Mr. Choi asked, something shifting in his expression. You, who never asks for help? She's better than me. Why wouldn't I learn from her? Mrs. Choi studied Jasmine. You are good for him. I can see this. He is lighter, less burdened. He's good for me too, Jasmine said. He taught me that structure isn't prison, that quiet can be peaceful, that I can be loud and still have space for calm. You balance each other, Mrs. Choi said. Like player 1 and player 2, Daniel added. His parents looked confused. Gaming reference, Jasmine explained. We can teach you, if you want. Saturday morning. Against all odds, Mr. and Mrs. Choi accepted Daniel's invitation to see their apartment. Jasmine had wanted to clean up the gaming room. Daniel had stopped her. They need to see us. Really us. So when the Choice walked into the gaming room and saw 2 complete setups, one RGB chaos, one minimalist calm, sitting side by side, they stopped. This is where you play? Mrs. Choi asked. This is where we live half our lives, Jasmine said. Want to try? Try. Gaming. We can teach you a simple game. Mr. Choi looked skeptical. But Mrs. Choi said, show me. 30 minutes later, Mrs. Choi was screaming into a headset. Behind you. Behind you. No, the other behind. Mr. Choi, at the other setup, was frantically clicking his mouse. I'm trying. This creature is very fast. Jasmine and Daniel stood behind them, watching Daniel's parents game together for the first time in their lives. Your mother has good instincts, Jasmine observed. Your father needs to work on his spatial awareness, Daniel noted. Daniel, help your father, Mrs. Choi shouted. Daniel jumped in, coaching his dad through the game. Jasmine helped Mrs. Choi coordinate an attack. When they won the match, Mrs. Choi jumped up and hugged Jasmine. We did it. We killed the monster. Mr. Choi was breathing hard, a smile on his stern face. That was a very stressful, but good. Want to go again? Daniel asked. Yes, both parents said simultaneously. Saturday night, after dinner, takeout, eaten while gaming, a Choi family first. They sat in the living room. I understand now, Mrs. Choi said. Why you love this. The games. Together. It's how we talk. Jasmine explained. Some people go on walks. We raid dungeons. And the noise complaints? Mr. Choi asked, slight smile playing at his lips. Ancient history, Daniel said quickly. I still play music loud sometimes, Jasmine admitted. But now Daniel has noise-canceling headphones, and I check if he has early meetings. We compromise. Compromise is good, Mrs. Choi said. In marriage, compromise is everything. We're not, Daniel started. Not yet, his mother interrupted. But you will be. I can see it. Jasmine and Daniel exchanged glances. Would you? Daniel hesitated. Would you be okay with that? If we got married. Is she good to you? Mr. Choi asked. The best. Does she make you happy? Every day. Does she challenge you to be better? Constantly. Annoyingly so. Jasmine smacked his arm. Then yes, Mr. Choi said simply. We would be okay with it. Mrs. Choi added, your brother married a white woman who works in a tattoo shop. Your father and I have learned to expand our definitions of acceptable. That's progress, Daniel offered. It's love, his mother corrected. We love you. We want you happy. If loud gaming girlfriend makes you happy, then we love loud gaming girlfriend too. I'm right here, Jasmine said. Good. Then you hear me say, take care of my son. He is sensitive even when he pretends not to be. I know. I will. And Daniel, Mr. Choi said, take care of her. She is strong, but strong people need care too. I know, Appa. I will. Sunday morning, as Daniel's parents prepared to leave, Mrs. Choi pulled Jasmine aside. When Daniel was small, he cried if his toys were not in perfect order. Everything had to be just so. We worried he would never be happy, always chasing perfect. He's learning to let go, Jasmine said. Because of you, you are the chaos he needs, and he is the calm you need. She smiled. You are a good match, like player 1 and player 2, yes. Yes, Jasmine said, tearing up. Mrs. Choi hugged her. Welcome to family, even though Daniel has not proposed yet. But he will. I saw the ring. You what? In his sock drawer. Men always hide in sock drawer. Very predictable. That night, your mom told me about the ring, Jasmine said as they sat at their gaming setups. Daniel's hands froze on his keyboard. She what? Sock drawer. Really? I was waiting for the right moment. Is there a right moment? Daniel logged out of his game, turned his chair to face her. No, there's just this moment. And you, and me, and the fact that I want every moment to be like this. Gaming together, living together, arguing about music volume and whose turn it is to buy green tea. He got down on one knee. I don't have the ring on me. It's in my sock drawer. But Jasmine Reed, will you be my player too? Officially? Forever? Jasmine was crying and laughing. Your proposal is terrible. You don't even have the ring. I know. I'm improvising. You taught me that. Is it working? Yes, you idiot. Yes, I'll marry you. Daniel kissed her, then ran to get the ring from his sock drawer. It was perfect. A simple band with a small diamond, elegant but not flashy. Exactly her style. How did you know? She asked as he slipped it on. I pay attention, even when I'm pretending not to. It's my main skill. That and filing noise complaints. I'm never living that down, am I? Never ever. They kissed again. Then Jasmine pulled back. Wait, are we going to tell people we got engaged while gaming? Is that bad? It's perfect. It's us. They logged back into their game. Queen Jazz and Midnight Soul. Player 1 and Player 2. Now and forever. Few months later, the wedding was exactly like them. Half traditional Korean ceremony, half gaming convention. The reception had a gaming lounge where guests competed in tournaments. Mr. Choi gave a speech about how his son taught him that love means accepting chaos. Mrs. Choi cried through the whole thing. Taylor was maid of honor and roasted them mercilessly. They met because he filed a noise complaint. If that's not enemies to lovers, I don't know what is. But the best moment was their first dance. Halfway through the traditional slow dance, The music changed to a video game soundtrack. Jasmine and Daniel broke into choreographed moves that mimicked gaming controls, joystick movements, button mashing, victory poses. The crowd went wild. Later, at the gaming lounge, someone asked how they made it work. Easy, Jasmine said. He's player 1. I'm player 2. And we never quit on each other. Even when you want to rage quit? Someone asked. Especially then, Daniel said, kissing his wife's temple. That's when you need your player 2 the most. They logged into the gaming station together. Started a new game. Together. Always together. The end. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the story, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe and share to others. Also leave a comment to share your thought about the story.